How to stop being somebody's house cat. What does that even mean? Well, essentially, what I mean by, being somebody's house cat is essentially being a liability, right? So, house cats or cats in general, they don't really serve any kind of purpose, right? They exist. They lay down, they take space. I don't know, they take a shit on like your counter or whatever. Take a shit on like your bed and all that stuff. And we don't want to be a house cat, okay? Um, and the only way to not be a house cat is to actually provide value to your market, okay? So, you know, in the market's terms, I'm going to be teaching you how to add value to your coaching offer while also making your life 10 times easier, okay? So I'm going to be presenting you guys this new coaching model, and I'm going to obviously compare it with the old one that we see here on the left, okay? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this, okay? So the classic coaching model, what is this all about, okay? So it's obviously one-on-one coaching, right? Pretty straightforward stuff. However, the one-on-one coaching model itself, it has limitations, okay? And really, really, really crazy limitations, all right? In terms of obviously your service delivery and, your time, okay? So number one is limited or little to no knowledge ramp up, okay? So one big reason that I preach having course material within your offer, not only does, the value of your program go up, but it just makes delivering 10 times easier because when you ramp all these people up, when you record, this course material, you record it once and then you'll just be ramping people up with that same course material forever. Meaning you won't have to re-explain yourself to every single new client that joins your program, and you won't have to ramp them up from zero. Instead, they'll go from zero and then they'll obviously watch your course material. Then they'll go from zero to about, 60, 70, right? And then from there, obviously, once, you start hopping on the calls with them, or your CSM start hopping on the call with them, and, you've changed their beliefs, and you're keeping them accountable, then you're going to make it absolutely unreasonable for that person to not turn into a case study for you to then use in your front end marketing, okay? And then, like I brought up, I said limited accountability, okay? So obviously limited accountability, it leads to a loss of motivation, and a loss of motivation, and obviously not being brought up to speed on the mechanisms and tactics that, you utilize within, I guess, whatever your program, it leads to limited or no results, okay? And that's just the harsh reality of this old coaching model, okay? The classic coaching model, I like to say. However, I would like to introduce to you guys a new alternative, which I like to call the Content to Cash coaching model. So the Content to Cash coaching model, pretty simply, obviously, we're not somebody's house cat anymore, okay? We are providing lots and lots of value to the point where we're going to make it absolutely unreasonable for these people that pay you to not generate their dream result, okay? They could be paying you to become an absolute stud at dating and become, I don't know, like a pimp. They could be paying you to become one of the best salesmen in the world, and you're going to turn them into that. They could be paying you to get good at trading, crypto, I don't know, conquering their mindset, anything, okay? Any type of coaching, this model works for, okay? So let's just obviously go ahead and dissect every single part of this, right? So number one, we have our course material, which obviously, as I mentioned earlier, it kills essentially, the ramp up phase, right? And then number two is one-on-one accountability. And then obviously you need to pair this one-on-one accountability with group calls and clarity, okay? Then from here, we have our community and our network, right? So from here, what's going to happen is all these four, if you pair them together correctly, it's going to kill every single limitation possible, okay? So obviously, it injects the beliefs needed to take violent action within the course material, and, one-on-one accountability calls, group calls, and just everything in general. The course material and all this stuff, it provides clients with base info and a ramp up. So that from there, the one-on-one calls and the group calls, they just add on to their knowledge. And then from there, obviously, you keep on injecting the beliefs needed for them to take that violent action, and then they'll go ahead and take that violent action. However, you need to implement this third step, which a lot of people don't talk about, which is accountability, okay? So you need to make people essentially responsible. You need to keep them accountable, keep them responsible, okay? So the way we're going to do this is we're going to do this 3 different ways. Number 1, client success managers, okay? This is going to take care of your one-on-one accountability for every single one of your clients, okay? So instead of you obviously having to take time out of your day, 30 to 45 minutes, maybe even an hour, to talk to every single person in your program, and if your acquisition is absolutely #dialed, then you're gonna have a fuck ton of clients. And if you have a fuck ton of clients, you're not gonna be able to get to anybody. And if you are, then you're gonna be on the computer all day, and you do not want to be on the computer all day. So what I recommend is you share a piece of the pie. You hire a client success manager, preferably a former client, for example, right? And if not, if you have the capital, a closer, right? And you just obviously somebody that's skilled in the field that you're kind of in, and you just want to get them on the calls with these people just to kind of update them and keep them accountable and keep them taking actions, and keep injecting the beliefs that are needed for this person to keep on taking violent action, okay? Then from here, obviously, we have community networking, which is obviously accountability from new connections. So the whole point of the community, obviously, for these people to start communicating, so that when they start introducing themselves, they meet new people, and these new people keep them accountable, because it's only human nature, right? And human nature essentially states, or psychology states, that we will take more actions towards our goal for other people than we will for ourselves, okay? We're very selfish. We're very selfish creatures, us humans, okay? Hence why, community networking and, just accountability from new connections is very important. And then lastly, we have our group accountability, okay? So this is obviously where you're going to be getting all these people on the group calls every single week. They're going to come in, they're going to ask questions that are related to, their biggest struggles. And then obviously once you give them their insights, obviously they're going to go ahead and, readjust, their beliefs, readjust, their current inputs. And from there, once they adjust their current inputs and, they start taking your advice, and obviously they have the beliefs needed to take action, and, they're being held accountable, then essentially what's going to happen is, obviously, like I said, beliefs, action, feedback, and results, right? You obviously need to go ahead and, change your actions, so that you can get, new feedback, which will lead to new results, okay? And then from here, obviously, the client is now up to speed with the mechanisms, and the client is now, inclined to succeed for others, leading to a permanent motivation boost. Now, all this stuff paired together, it leads to a case study, okay? So obviously, you change their beliefs, and they're not taking very, very violent action. It makes it unreasonable for them to turn into a case study. Then once you get this case study, you want to start leveraging this new case study within your front end marketing to attract new prospects. So even more people, okay? Which in turn will make you even more money. All right. So yeah, guys, that was pretty much it for this video. Obviously, I just compared, the typical coaching model, one-on-one. It's very not leveraged to, the leveraged content-to-cash coaching model, which implements leverage and predictability within, obviously, your service delivery process, to the point where it makes it absolutely unreasonable for every client of your program not to become a case study, okay? So that being said, thank you guys for watching, and obviously if you want to stop being somebody's house cat and essentially, scale your coaching business, make your service delivery 10 times easier, and if you don't have clients, start signing more clients, then obviously go through my old content. I guarantee you'll become a client one day. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and like I said, if you want to implement this stuff for yourself, and obviously you have about 5 to 10K liquid, then book a call in the description, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.